Action Junkeez podcast number 8. I'm Jon Orlando. To my right is Mr. Jake Ellenberger. 8's a good number. 8 is great.
It is.
I was born on the 8th.
Oito.
Wait, what's that? Portuguese?
That's 8 in Portuguese, yeah.
Say it again?
Oito.
Oito.
Yeah, oito.
Oito.
It's a good number.
I like that.
You bet on 8 in roulette too, don't you?
No.
No.
Which is weird. I should.
Right.
But I bet on roulette. I bet on... So 11's my favorite number.
Okay.
And I got so tired of it ending up in the number right next to 11 when I make a big bet on 11.
Yeah.
So I bet on 7, 9, 11, 26, and 30 because 7 and 9 and 26 and 30 they flank 11
Okay.
at the wheel. So I like that little section.
Right. Surround it.
Right. But maybe now I should start betting on 8. Like, why wouldn't I bet on 8? I was born on the 8th. Like,
I would think so. Yeah, it's funny. I started betting on 6, and I never do. But my son Jameson was born on the 6th. So
July 6th.
July 6th.
You like that I know that?
Know.
See?
Uncle John knows.
Huh? Uncle John knows. Uncle John knows that on July 6th of, I can't do the math, but 26 or something, Uncle John was taking that kid to the Reno. That's what Uncle John knows. Huh? Or
All
no,
right.
18? No good. 21. You got to wait till he's 21.
I believe 21, yeah. Is that right?
I don't know, but we'll corrupt him somehow when he's 18 for sure. 100%. Because I'll be... Fuck, maybe I'm not going to corrupt anything at that point. I might just take him to the zoo, you know? I don't know.
Whichever.
Yeah.
Whichever.
That might be too old.
No, come on.
Big weekend last weekend in fights.
Yeah.
Or just a few days ago. No, it's last weekend, a few days ago.
Right.
Did you watch? I watched.
I did.
Yeah?
I did, yeah.
The chick fight, was there more than one chick fight? I'm thinking of Marcos and
Carla Esparza.
Carla Esparza. That was a scrap.
That was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Did you agree with the decision?
I thought Carla won.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, it was close, but I would have, that's judging. Another example of judging in MMA. So I had Carla winning though.
That was a really good fight though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was back and forth.
And to be honest, a lot of the female fights are kind of, you just never know what to expect. Some of them are boring or, there's not a lot of action, but that fight did not disappoint.
The girls, and maybe the guys do this too, and I don't realize that it's happening for some reason, but the girls seem to do the just marching forward, throwing punches thing really well. Like, it's an exciting style.
It is.
Just like I'm just marching at you, just throwing.
I know. It's funny. I've had friends tell me like, the females can make a lot more mistakes because they're not as powerful. And this is coming from a buddy of mine. That wasn't from me, but I was like, well, it depends what weight class, but I can see that in whereas to like in some weight classes, if you were to march forward and you get hit once, that's the end of the fight. But
march forward and when you're fighting Cyborg and see how that
exactly
make those mistakes, see how that works out for you.
I know it.
Even Holly Holm, I don't think you want to march forward and make too many mistakes with her.
No.
Some girls that'll wreck you.
Right.
That was a good fight. The other shocker was it's like I have to learn to remember that when you become a champ in any weight class, I think you're all you guys are obviously dangerous because you're at the highest level. But in Johnny Hendrick's case, I wrote him off. I'm like, oh, he's going to middleweight because he can't make weight, and he's got one foot out the door, and blah, blah, blah. And Lombard looks like an animal, and he's going to wreck him. And Johnny Hendricks looked pretty good.
He did. He looked good. It's funny. I actually, I made a small bet.
Oh, again?
Yes, just a small one.
Fucking kidding me.
But it was a prop bet. It was Hendricks by decision because I said if Lombard, and this was just my thought, if he didn't take him out in the first round, he's not going to win this fight.
I'm not being rude right now. I'm just looking at my texts from you.
Okay.
Looking for hey, Lombard, Hendricks. It's nothing. There's nothing about any of the fights, actually. Nothing. Again,
I
that's
didn't-
2 weeks in a row.
I didn't know you were actually watching the
Can't
fights.
get a
But
fucking text from you.
that was one of those. That was one of those. One of those really.
No, I get it. We just talked about it though. Just talked about it
Yeah.
fucking 7 days ago.
Yeah. If I would have texted you and said, "Hey, Hendricks is gonna win this fight by decision," you'd be like, "Ha!" You'd be like, "Yeah, you're crazy."
That is true. You have told me some. That's the funny thing is you have told me some bets before, and I tell you you're crazy. But I only tell you that you're crazy on the fights that I really truly care about. Like if it involves Conor McGregor, and you're like, "I think Eddie Alvarez can win," I'm like, I read you the riot act.
Right.
On Ronda Rousey, same thing. I read you the riot act.
Which fight?
The last one. What do you mean, which fight?
Well,
The last two.
both. Okay.
Yes, the last two. I told you.
Right. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know either. And at one point I actually had a parlay. I'm not going to bring it up again. Okay.
That's okay.
I'm not.
Still.
I'm not going to bring up Toe and Cage fucked up the 5-teamer for $18K. I'm not going to do that to you.
Right.
We talked about it. We got through it like a
wouldn't-
family.
You wouldn't bring that up
and
again
it's
either.
about growth in our relationship. Okay?
Okay.
Broadcast partners now. I'm not going to keep, you know what I mean? I'm going to let it go. But what I am going to say is that at one point, I had Ronda Rousey to win on that parlay. And thank God, because you swayed me. Because, you're a pro at what you do.
I swayed you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I was thinking Nunez all the way. Then you told me Rousey. So I actually did a parlay with Rousey. Made the bet. The one that I speak of to you, the 5. At one point, I had Rousey winning that parlay. And thank God in the Palms Sportsbook, although it didn't end up mattering because your fucking toe got caught in the cage. But still, I didn't know that at the time. Okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up again.
No, it's okay.
But thank God in the sportsbook was our dear friend Morgan Smith.
Oh, yeah.
And
he was in the sports book. That's
with
funny.
me, yeah, because
Okay.
we were going to go eat. And I said, hey, I've got to just
yeah.
make a quick bet on the fight,
Yeah.
So I show him the parlay. I'm all excited. I got, because one ticket just was you
Right.
and Rhonda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I had a
Otherwise, both
separate
would've
one
lost.
with you, Rhonda, Cody, Uriah Faber.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. And I went and showed Morgan all excited. Like, look what I did. And he's like, what are you thinking?
He said you're crazy.
How is
yeah.
Ronda Rousey going to win that fight? Tell me how she wins. And then he broke it down. And I was like, fuck, I'll be right back. And I went back to the cage. And I'm like, I made a mistake. It wasn't Rousey.
Really?
It's Nunez. Yeah, and they had to void it out.
Wow.
They voided it out. And I added Nunez first round knockout because Morgan told me.
Wow. So they let you change it, though.
If you do it real quick. Like this all
Like, oh,
happened like in the
mistake.
first 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I just passed it off like, oh, my God, I made a mistake. I'm new at betting. I didn't know I was doing it for my buddy. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they canceled it.
So you had Nunez in the first round in the
Nunez,
parlay?
Yes. Nunez to
Wow.
win and Nunez.
Oh, so that probably shot up
first round.
the parlay.
Yeah. That's what got it to
Monument.
18K.
Okay.
Originally, it was like 8.
Right.
Yeah. But it
Jeez,
didn't
that-
matter. But
right.
we don't have to discuss why it didn't matter. 'Cause I think I brought that up a couple times already.
I don't know if that makes you feel any better.
No. I'm just, it didn't matter.
Motherfucker.
Anyway, the point that I was making, because I take a long time sometimes to make
That's
a point,
okay.
was you can't count out a Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He looked good.
He did. It's tough. I've heard a lot of things too, as far as him leaving his trainers and going to a different place. Like he'd cut a lot of people out. Changes always creates turbulence. It's never necessarily a good thing. But he did. He looked good. He and Lombard. I mean, come on, anybody fighting Lombard, you're like, good
luck.
That's a tough fight for anybody. But like I said, I thought if Lombard didn't finish him in the first round, that he was gonna. That I think he would. He had a really good, obviously a lot better chance of winning that fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the main event, I'm glad you just brought up change too. So Travis Brown looked okay for a minute.
Right.
In the beginning. And then all hell broke loose. That was kind of a tough knockout.
Yeah.
I did not see Edmund
Yeah, no, he wasn't there. He wasn't in his corner.
And I heard through the grapevine that he was seen at King's training. Do you know anything about that?
No,
Can you
no.
confirm or deny that?
He was not at King's. I heard he was at the Black House here in L.A.
Mm.
That's what I was told. I don't know for sure, but I know he had left Glendale. Mm-hmm.
So he did leave Glendale.
He did. Yep.
Do we know? Does that mean Ronda Rousey has left Glendale?
That I don't know. Do not know. I know Travis he had Ray Sefo in his corner, and Ray's phenomenal kickboxer. He was a K1 champ. I believe he's in Las Vegas, so I think that's where Travis was doing most of his training at.
I like Travis Brown. I really thought he was going to end up being the champ.
He absolutely has the skills too. He is a monster.
It's a crazy sport, man. How it just you can go from being on top or being so promising, and one loss, and it's like it happens to all of you guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
That one loss just fucks you. Is it just mentally what it does?
Well,
or
there is something to be said about momentum. I will say that, because anytime you have momentum, there's a lot of buzz, people, energy. You can feel that energy behind you. But it's tough to kind of come back through any loss. But I think more than anything, this sport, there's a couple things. One, we've talked about in MMA, you continually fight the best guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas in boxing and some other sports, you don't necessarily do. But I think in the way that I think the infrastructure is designed in the UFC is, if you do get on a streak, like they typically will give you a really bad matchup, and it may be. I've seen it more so, I would say, for business purposes. They don't want everyone to be getting paid a ridiculous amount of money. So it's, that was a way of keeping a lot of people, their pay down a little bit. Yeah, but eventually, like I said, if you keep winning, you're going to keep fighting the best guys. And some are just really bad matchups. But yeah,
it's definitely not like boxing where the promoter is coddling you, protecting your record,
Yeah.
getting you up to 30-0 or whatever, and then the big fight. Like that's definitely not happening in the UFC. It's definitely you're thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the better you do, you're just getting in deeper water with a bunch of sharks.
I think that's what makes Conor so exciting. Not to be on, I'm always on.
You're not
the
ball
Kool-Aid
swinging
on
no,
Conor fan
right.
club, but people accuse Dana of kind of coddling him in the beginning and stuff, and there's no way you can believe that at this point. I mean, he ripped through Aldo. He went up to fight Nate, lost, was like, fuck that. I want Nate again at welterweight. Like,
yeah,
pretty amazing.
No, he is. I mean, his skills speak for themselves. Absolutely. I mean, trust me. I've been on both sides of him. I've been like, I don't know how good he is, and he knows how to win. Like I said, there is something to be said about momentum.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens next for Travis Brown?
Man, I don't know. There was glimpses where he looked good, though.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I thought, oh, wow, he's going to win this fight.
Oh, he had him hurt,
He
too.
had him.
I mean, a few times. That was one thing I think where he missed the boat there was he had him hurt a couple of times, and he was like, the guy was just covering his stomach. And it's like that if there's a time to sprint, that's the time. He is halfway out. He's halfway out the door. But
and then the ref fell asleep there in the last 12 seconds of that fight. Like, what was did the ref take off? Is the ref has no momentum?
I know.
Holy shit.
He went on a break.
What needs to happen for someone to step in and go, all right, I think this guy's done? I mean, we could have stopped that fight 8 punches prior.
That's the problem about intelligently defending yourself. It should be black. It sounds black and white, but it's subjective. Some refs will let you fight until you're completely unconscious, and some will stop it real quickly.
And to the ref's defense, though, it is easy, I guess, when you watch the replay or you watch, when you're in there, it's like when we're giving you fight advice. Why didn't you just, fuck, hit the guy? And Travis is one of those guys that I think we've seen him take crazy punishment before and somehow get through it too, right?
Yeah.
And they seem to let the heavyweights go a little longer than normal sometimes.
Yeah, I know it. I think too. It's funny. We tend to forget though with heavyweights. It's like These guys hit. Do you remember when Travis Brown fought Andrei Arlovsky?
Yep.
That was one of the
That's
craziest
the fight.
finds. Okay.
Right. Arlovsky looked like he was out and came back.
Completely.
It was over.
Yeah.
Fight was over.
Oh yeah. I think Arlovsky. No. First, I think Brown was out.
It
or
went
he
back
could
and
have
forth.
been.
Right.
He was drunk. You could tell he was not with it. And then Arlovsky is almost finished. He's like face down, and somehow oh my god, that was a fun fight to watch though.
I was in the gym last night because I've been in the gym this year. Jake Ellenberger just working on these guns. And
wow, really?
Yeah, you want tickets to the gun show? And so in my basement, we've got a couple flat screens in the gym in there, and UFC 184 comes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot who was on that card aside from you. I didn't realize that Tony Ferguson was on that card. It's so funny. That's just 2 years ago. Or
Yeah.
3. Yeah, two
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago. It's coming up. It'll almost be exactly 2 years the end of this month. That was February 28th,
Right.
2015, right?
Yep.
And it's so crazy how much younger all of you looked.
Yeah.
In just 2 years. Like, Tony Ferguson looks like a little boy.
Yeah.
But he was 31 in that fight. Or maybe it was just the photo they were using of him back then.
Oh, okay.
Like, when he comes on, you know?
I'm not not really sure what you were trying to say, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you've aged considerably.
Yeah.
No. But that card was sick. It was Tony Ferguson. I can't remember who he fought.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you and Koscheck. And then Holly Holm was on that card.
Mhm.
I forgot about that. And then Ronda, obviously, headlined that card.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the point I was headed to, once again, in a long-winded way, was the you and Koscheck fight was epic. Foaming
was.
at the mouth.
That was it was funny. I watched somebody had sent that to me too. That just the end of that fight, and I remember when I had the choke, because you know what, like there's certain times when you get a submission, you're like there's absolutely no way. There's not like, oh, let's turn this way, let's turn that way. Like there's a certain point when you get a submission, you're like, no, I don't care how big or who it is, they're not getting out. Like it's like I've been in that situation too, and I can tell when I have somebody else in that situation. But yeah, I remember him like rolling to his back, rolling forward, and I was like, man, I don't want to break this guy's neck, but I will. Like it was one of those chokes where it's like he goes to his back, he's turning one way, and he's not gonna tap. So it's like, man, I don't want to hurt him, but I will. You know whatever I gotta do. Yeah, he's got at any time he can tap his arm and he's done.
Right.
You know, the fight's over. But
Yeah, that was insane, man. When you're on the receiving end of that, is what goes through your head like trying to fight it, or do you you just realize like, oh fuck, I'm got
it depends. I mean, with chokes, there's definitely when there's no way out. I mean, I would say most, like even arm locks, like there's a lot of like submissions where you can move, you can kind of manipulate your body a little bit and find a way out. But chokes are one of those things where you got about 5 or 6 seconds and you're going out. So it's tough. It depends. Yeah, it depends. Choke, guillotine. There's sometimes a way out. Hand fighting, rear naked choke. But yeah, like the darce or the no arm darce that I had. When it's in, it's
lights out.
Yeah,
literally lights out.
Yeah.
Let the foaming begin.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Speaking of Koscheck, didn't he just fight this last weekend? I heard he did. I didn't see it.
Oh, where?
In Bellator.
Oh, I'm not. I gotta stay tuned on Bellator.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop. Who did he fight? Do you know? Did he win?
He didn't know. I couldn't even tell you who he fought, though. No.
I don't know how many Bellator fighters I can name besides the ones that just jumped from UFC. Like, has Rory fought in Bellator yet?
No, but he's going to fight Paul Daly in London.
Oh, I like Paul Daly.
Yeah.
Speaking of Paul Felder fight was good the other night.
Yeah.
That guy's fun to
good.
watch.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
How's the any momentum like in the casino world for you, John?
Well, I told you I was taking off for a few days. I took those few days off. I regrouped. I was just in Reno a couple days ago. Played a little poker. nothing too crazy. Went to blackjack and nothing crazy.
Mm.
And then I came here to Hollywood Park, the beautiful brand new Hollywood Park Casino here in Inglewood, just minutes from the airport.
It's gorgeous.
It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you last week I'm not getting here early because the last 2 weeks I've come early have not treated me very well.
Mm.
So today I just came at normal time. I did play 3 hands of blackjack, though, while I was waiting for Vicky to come in here. And my very first hand, I get blackjack on $100.
Nice.
No, I'm sorry. First hand, I lose. Second hand, I play for $100. I get blackjack, so I got my money back.
Mm-hmm.
Next hand, I play $100. I get 11. I double down.
I hope this ends well.
I double down, and she ends up pulling. I get the 10, so I get 21. She ends up pulling 21, so I push. The very next hand, I play 200.
Of course.
I get blackjack.
Wow.
She has blackjack.
No.
And it's the kind with the 10 showing, so there's no insurance, there's no even money, you can't do there's none of that.
I can't no even money. That's terrible.
And so then that was it. So I'm even today, which is feels like a victory. Technically I'm down though cuz I did bet on the pair bet on every hand. So technically I'm down $100.
Okay.
That's okay.
It could be worse.
It could be way worse. It's been worse.
I've seen it.
Now, I did go a week ago. See, this goes back to my memory and being 46 because I completely forgot that there was a whole Vegas trip I've just left out of the entire story.
Okay.
I went and I took your advice. I went and played War.
Did you?
War was spectacular.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. War can be amazing.
It can be.
You can really get in a groove because you can win 4 hands of War in a row in a span of 30 seconds.
I know it.
That is a fast game.
Very quick. I was playing this last trip. I had a buddy of mine who got married in Vegas on the link, the big wheel. You know. Anyway, so
I'm friends with that same buddy.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I forgot about that. Right.
I was playing War at the link. And I'd never played there before. I wasn't playing really big, but the point of the story is I literally won like 12 out of 13.
And you feel like you lost money because you weren't playing big.
Well, I had like 2 or 3 like decent sized hands. You know, I was like, okay, if I can put two together, cool, 2 or 3, and I'm done. And so, of course, you know, when you kind of like, all right, now I'm getting beat for sure. Like you win like 4 or 5, you're like, all right, yeah, now I know I'm done. Like. So I kept like pulling my bet down and be like $50, $25, $15, and it'd be like, you'd get a 4, she'd get a 3. I'd get a 6, she'd get a 5. It's like I like literally 12 out of 13. And I was like, man, if I let this ride, but it was good to me. Let's leave it at that though. I was up, so I quit. Yeah, it's funny. I that whole like, oh well, now I'm due to lose, right? So years ago, I was in Atlantic City, and I was so you probably go through this when you go down to the casino and you're going to play for the first time. You probably go through, do I want to play? Well, actually, it's a no-brainer for you. If they have War, that's what you're going to play. So let's not use War as the example. If you go down and you're like, should I play roulette or should I play blackjack, right? And you make that decision, you're like, I'll go play blackjack, right? You've done that, I'm sure. Yeah. So same thing happens to me in Atlantic City. This is like in the 90s, before you were even born, probably, Jake. But I was born in 85.
Okay, so there you go. You were 8 when this story took place. You were 8 years old playing dominoes in the back with your uncle. Okay, so I'm like blackjack roulette. So I go to blackjack, but the blackjack table is right across from the roulette wheel. So and this was when they had first, you know, like the board that shows you here's all the last like 25 numbers or whatever that have hit. There was a time when that didn't exist, and it was much better when it didn't exist because now that haunts me, that board, right? So this is when they first came out with that board, and so I sit down, and this was before I knew about betting 7, 9, 26, and 30, when the only number out of the 36 that existed for me was 11. It was the only number I bet.
Black 11.
I would just bet black, 11, and the middle column, which pays 2 to 1.
So if that hit, yeah.
So I'd go black, middle column, 11. Was literally the only number I bet on back then. Okay. So I sit down, I'm playing blackjack, and of course I want to check and see, did it ever hit 11 or black, or I do know all of the numbers in the middle column, like 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, whatever.
Oh, the column. Okay, it wasn't
17.
like this
The
section,
whole,
not 13 through 24.
No, the middle
23.
column.
Okay.
26, 29, 32,
Gotcha.
35. Yeah, I know them all. Anyway, so it hits 11 while I'm playing blackjack, and I'm like, fuck, I would have had that, right? So I'm still playing blackjack. Now a few minutes go by. I look over my shoulder, look at the wheel again. 11 again, 2 in a row. I'm like, you can't be serious. So then I did the same thing. I was like, well, fuck, I missed that row. 4 in a row. 4 in a row.
What?
On 11. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Do you understand how much money I have at that point?
4. What do you put on it? Like 111?
I'm 100 on
At
11.
least. Which
If I hit by the third time, though, I've got 200 on it just for shits and giggles. Right?
For laughs.
So that's
yeah.
$7,000. And then on the fourth time, I certainly have usually 200 at the tables I go to is max.
Yeah.
You know, if it's Venetian, you could put like 500 to 1,000
I mean,
on a number. But I don't
with the
think I'll do
column
that.
and the 50, the even money bet, the black, I mean, you're looking at
You're rolling.
30, 40,000?
For sure.
Oh, my gosh.
So upsetting.
Wow.
And then I feel like I'm down. So I start firing away at blackjack, lose all the money. It's all gone. Money gone.
Wow.
1993, ladies and gentlemen. Yep.
Dang. I had a quick story. I was playing poker and I had threes, and the flop comes. It's like ace 3 ace. So I'm like, whoa, that's of course, like, you know, and so I don't come out heavy, like, you know what I mean. I don't want to like scare everybody off. So
Sure.
I bet a little bit, and so people stay in a little more, and I already have the boat, so I'm like, I'm in. I push on, another guy calls immediately, and he has an ace. So so he has an ace, like I think like an ace and a 3, and so he goes ace, 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 3, 3 or something. Anyway,
He has
he has
threes
full house
full of
too,
aces.
but
He has aces full of threes.
yeah, and I was like, of course.
That's so brutal.
You gotta be kidding me, but
It's so brutal.
yep, it's all right.
I was playing poker here at Hollywood Park a couple days ago, and like I lost 3 big hands, and told the person that I was at the river heads up against, told them what they had, which would it meant if I was correct, I am losing, and I still made the call. So, like, what is it inside of me that goes, are you going to flip over King 10 of Hearts or something silly like that? Is that what you have, King 10 of Hearts? And then I followed up with, I call, and then he shows King 10 of Hearts to have, like, the straight or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
what makes me, like, what? It's that OCD is what I blame. It's like, I still need to see it. Like, if I fold,
Yeah.
I need to know. Like, what if he didn't have King 10? What if he's like me and he's full of shit at the poker table? I need to know.
Yeah, most guys aren't.
They're not. Yeah, thanks, Jake. Where were you 3 fucking days ago?
I have a lot of, you don't have a lot of temperance, John. I don't know if you're aware, but
Please don't use big words.
it's just a little more.
Don't use big words. Okay? Don't come in here and start throwing big words around.
It's
Temperance?
Temperance, yeah. It's just the act of exercising self-control, like in
Okay.
certain situations, like let's say gambling, like when you're up and you just
What's the other thing I suffer from?
learned helplessness.
Learned helplessness. Can you go over that again?
Yeah, you know what? That's a funny topic. I talk a lot about because I have a lot of friends, and myself included, that at some point in their life has been a victim of learned helplessness. But I would say it's with you. It's just
Get it out. It's okay. Get it out. It's payback for the fucking toe in the cage. That's what this is, right?
No,
it always
I
comes back
wasn't.
around your way, doesn't it?
No,
Yeah.
I wish you would have. Well, so actually, just to hit on that, if they're like your ticket, like that should be just a cancel. Like if you did it online, they would have just like if that would have been a no contest, they would have canceled the ticket or that part of the parlay.
Right.
Which, yeah. Ouch.
Oh, that's a good point. Online, it would have canceled, but in the casinos, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ain't that a bitch?
I've even I had like the Fedor fight in a parlay, and since that fight didn't happen, it was like canceled. And then, but your parlay still online stays together, so it's like you still have the same.
You just
odds.
get less.
Yeah, like I had Travis Brown and then somebody else, and of course I was like, oh well, as long as 2 of the 3, nope.
Are there any other bets you have in play that are coming up on the horizon that you feel that you want to leave me in the dark in, or maybe you can actually share with me? Is there any other fortunes that I'm potentially missing out on because you don't want to share it?
Well, no, I had a couple with Stephen Thompson and Rumble, but we've talked about it, yeah.
And that's March 4th. You're going to that fight?
Yes, beginning of March. Yeah,
I'm going to be in Reno. I wish I could be at that fight. I'd like to be at that fight.
Oh yeah, you have a show?
My dad's going to be in Reno. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to go.
Do you like it? How is Reno? I've never been there.
I mean, have you been to Pahrump on the way to Vegas? You know that first little shit town, no offense if you live in Pahrump? Here's the thing. Our 9 listeners, not one of them's from fucking Pahrump. We can shit on Pahrump all day long at this stage of the game on the Action Junkeez podcast. Shout out to Pahrump. But like Whiskey Pete's and all those fucking... Okay, Reno's better than that, but it's a far cry from Vegas.
Right.
It's somewhere between Council Bluffs and Vegas.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. It's not quite Tahoe. Have you been to Tahoe?
I have.
You ski?
Yeah, a little bit. I more snowboard, but...
You do?
Yeah.
I can't get into that. I can't seek out the cold.
I kind of grew up in the cold, though, so I'm used to it. But
all the more reason I would think you would not ever pick the cold. Like you've had enough snow, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like, why not just go tropical?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't miss winters. That's for sure.
Right. So you just end up snowboarding at this point if it just happens. You don't really seek it out.
Yeah, I mean,
if you get invited.
When I'm in Omaha, yeah, exactly. If it's like an event or a bunch of people are going, like, yeah, something like that.
Right.
But no, I'm not moving into the snow.
Yeah. So Reno's all right. It's okay. It's something to do. Here's the cool thing though. Like in Vegas, like when you go to Encore. To get a free room at Encore, like we almost don't do enough. Me and you.
Really?
The way yeah, I mean, I just now got one like last week after all the insanity that's gone. Like Hard Rock, we get treated nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the casinos we get, in Reno though, like if you average like $20 a hand, you get respect.
You're in the suite.
So if you're rocking black chips solid at the table in Reno, it's like 2-bedroom suite. It's like the Rain Man suite. Like it's like I show up as like Mr. Orlando. Hello, Mr. Orlando.
Can I get your
good to have you back, Mr. Orlando. So yeah, so in that
the
sense,
Bellagio suite, yeah.
Right. You feel like, oh shit, this is what it feels like to be Dan Bilzerian. Right?
Oh God, I know. I was thinking about, just because I've been playing more poker lately. And he plays a lot of heads up, right?
Or yeah, that's private. All he plays.
Oh, that's all he plays. Okay.
I mean, I think that's all he plays. Mostly.
And I got to imagine it's just like does your betting strategy change with just 1-2 people? You're like,
well, your hand selection obviously changes a lot. So it's like any ace is
sure.
good,
or any pair almost, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But even just like any ace. King, anything,
weak ace, yeah,
you're probably in good shape. When I was at his, not to name drop, but when I was at Dan Bilzerian's house, because I've been to his house one time, even though he wouldn't know me if we were walking down the street and I ran right into him. My buddy was playing him heads up, so it was just me, my buddy, and Dan at Dan's house. Course, and I think I texted you when I was on my way there.
You did, yeah.
This was last summer, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, last year, I believe.
Last year, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, holy shit, dude! I got called up to the big leagues. I'm going to Dan Bilzerian's. So what I pictured when of what it was going to be like was nothing like it was, but it was still really cool. Like I pictured walking in his Instagram account, right? Like I pictured like there's going to be 47 girls, me, Dan, and my buddy. Yeah. There were no girls. We get there and Dan is sitting like you walk into his living room, and which is a really nice house up in the like Hollywood Hills, and he's sitting at his desk, and his desk is a poker table. How fucking cool is that? That's cool. Yeah. So he literally like he's ready to shuffle up and deal. So we sat down. My buddy wrote him a check for $20,000, and Dan was like, "Yeah, that's not even." He was trying to talk him into like 100. He's like, $20,000. He's like, "What are we playing for? Come on, like let's play." Yeah, I was like, "Holy shit, these guys are not fucking around." And so my buddy writes him. He says, well, "Can I give you a check?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take a check." So he writes him a $20,000 check, and he loses to Dan like in 15 minutes. Yeah. And before that happened, Dan's chef came out and was like, "What would you guys like to eat?" And blah blah blah. So we I was just like, "Yeah, whatever you guys, I was just trying not to be in the way, So we order, and all I could think about was, "Fuck, I hope my buddy's gonna buy back in because I want dinner." Like,
not like what happened to his
like
20,000.
Let's not leave mad right now, like I want dinner.
Right.
So my buddy buys back in for another 20. He loses that.
Oh no.
And Dan, I guess, was like on a 2-day bender at the time, so like he's fucking exhausted. Like it's a Sunday night. He's like he wants to go to bed. He's over it. He's like, "Can I go to bed now?" And he's like, No, 10 more. Let me do 10 more. And so he writes him another check for $10,000.
He's in 50.
He's in for 50. And the funny thing is, when we were in his office before we left for Dan's house, he specifically told Dan, "I'm not losing $50,000 at your house. I'm only going to play for 10. That's it, $10,000." And he's a movie producer, so Dan wanted to see a script for a new movie that he's producing, that this guy's producing, because Dan was thinking about auditioning for it and maybe investing in it or whatever. So my buddy ends up in for the exact $50,000 that he said he didn't want to be in for. It's like when I say social blackjack, and then it turns into a fucking fiasco, right? And so he writes him another check for 10, and Dan even made a joke, and he says, "You're not going to leave until I let you win your money back, are you?" He even made a joke about it, and he ended up getting all the money back, and I swear Dan just did it to be nice. I think he did it to be nice.
Really? You think you're just like being...
Yeah, I think so, because there were a lot of hands that he folded that I don't know if he was winning, but I just feel like, maybe, I'm not trying to discredit my buddy's talent, but...
Right. Maybe Dan just wanted to go to bed.
I think he just wanted to go to bed. He was like, "How do I get this fucking guy out of here?" Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine 50,000 is really anything for Dan. He does, that's probably a couple hours for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like nothing. Cool house, though. I got to see Smushball, the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard a goat outside, but I never saw the goat.
Yeah.
But there was a goat. Definitely a goat. You don't mistake a goat making noise.
When I used to work at the Linlin Ranch in Oregon, I lived there for a short period of time, and I worked for Matt Linlin, and he had named a goat after me because it had really fucked up ears. There was Little Horwich. It was me and Matt Horwich. It was Little Horwich and Jakey. Because it was funny because he had like one side was like half an ear, and the other one was all like really deformed.
So wait, you were a rancher?
Well, it was more of just working.
Like a ranch hand.
Kinda.
You had to wear gloves?
Sometimes, but
like bales of hay.
Baling hay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like with a pitchfork?
No, I mean you got hooks, but just outdoor work. I mean, yeah, it was cool.
Really?
Yeah.
In Oregon?
Yeah, in Oregon.
So you lived in Oregon? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know you. I don't know if I know you.
Johnny, there's a lot you don't know about me. No, I'm just kidding.
Now this was not the mean streets of.
Not West Lynn, no.
Not West Lynn,
yeah.
but you were at the Lynn Ranch.
Yeah, so
no relation
Team
to
Quest. Portland, it's close. It's right by each other. But when I trained in Team Quest in Portland, it was in Gresham, which is like. But Matt kind of lived out in the country kind of part, so you drive like 20, 30 minutes.
Have you ever milked a cow?
Well, yeah.
You have milked a cow?
Of course.
Of course. What does that mean? Of course. Everyone from Omaha's milked cows?
Well, no, but yeah. Anybody who's done like outdoor kind of work. Yeah, it's
Just grab a hold of those udders and yank them, huh?
Yeah.
Your brother Joe milked a cow?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Into like a metal bucket, like in the movies, like the whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
Really?
It's funny enough, if you go to the Henry Doorly Zoo in Omaha, they have, like, you can milk cows.
Wait, I've been to that zoo.
Have you?
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because they have, like, petting zoo for kids, you know, and, like, you can literally have your kids milk cows. It's. I mean, when you're a kid, that's, like, really fun. You're like, holy shit, I get to, you know.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Jameson's going to love
When
it.
you're a kid, you're just dying to get your hands on
Right,
some
you
nipples,
just-
wherever they got to come
when
from.
you're a kid,
Get
you
your
just
hand
wanna-
on those nipples somehow.
Kids just want to touch anything.
I was watching Shark Tank last night. Are you up to date?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
So I was watching last night. I had the last 2 weeks DVR'd or whatever.
Okay.
And so I don't remember. I think it was maybe not last week, but the week before. Anyway, here's my question to you. And I want an honest answer out of you.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is a question that a guy with your job, being a UFC fighter, I don't know if you're willing to answer this question honestly on the mic. Okay? But
Okay.
I want you to be honest.
All right.
Jake Ellenberger, have you ever watched Shark Tank and maybe shed a little tear? A little tear. Have you ever had teary eyes watching Shark Tank?
No. But I have, I mean, I've definitely, you know, there's been some emotional episodes, but
Okay.
yeah, I felt
All right.
the soft ones, but no, not shed a tear. I crying not. I'm not better. Like, I'm not too tough to cry.
I got you.
Saying no.
All right.
But
Okay, I was just wondering. And I'm not
Shark
saying
Tank.
I shed a tear while I was watching Shark Tank last night, Jake. I'm
I
just
think
saying
that's what you were.
maybe I started to well up a little bit for a second. Just a split second, I caught it. Okay? Cat
okay.
shot me a look, and I was like, relax, buddy. You get back to bed.
You know what it drives me crazy about that show is I literally think so many people just go on that for the exposure, and I get it. It's huge. But you can tell when people, like, when you get the sharks to, like, start, you know, counter offer, and it's like they want to make it, like, they might give you a deal that's obviously benefits and great for them, but it's like, do you want to do business with Mark Cuban? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
yeah.
100%.
Kevin O'Leary, it's like, okay, I saw this, like, child toy company, something, and they're sitting there arguing. It's like, no, that's too much equity. We're not going to give it. It's like, who cares?
I know exactly what
This
the
guy,
one you're talking about. With the app where it
drives me crazy.
it sends messages. The kids can send messages.
That's a great one.
through the toys.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Which they did do a deal.
They did the deal.
Right. But
That chick was sharp as hell, though.
She
She
was.
was from MIT, or
MIT,
something.
yeah.
Fuck me.
yep, she had made $10 million off of an alarm clock
Right.
that jumped off the
Right.
end of the ground. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. People's phones go off and like, shut the fuck up. You know, like maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I love the fucking
throw
slapstick you just did. That was incredible. Holy shit.
I do that. I throw the phone down.
Yeah, I mean, here's the type of businessman I am, Jake. If I'm on Shark Tank, and let's say Mark Cuban says, "All right, well, John, I'm going to make you an offer." I go, "Yes, yes." I don't even need to hear the offer.
Speak no
Yes,
further.
done. Mark, you have a deal.
Yes.
I didn't even say it. I know. We'll work out the particulars later. Yeah, I'm in.
John, we want to put Action Junkeez on HDNet.
Done.
All right.
I'm in.
We own 95% of it.
Fine. It's
Whatever.
okay. That whole 5% of something is worth better than
Yeah.
I'm in.
Speaking of funny deals, you remember my buddy Billy Dinkinger?
I do.
And so he's an architect, and he's a big investor in Bottega Louis. And we were at a birthday party this weekend. A buddy of mine, Miles Teller, he had a birthday party up in Hollywood, and it was funny. Like, I didn't really know what to expect.
I got that text. I got the rub it in text.
No,
from you.
I actually
Hey,
invited
you never believe what you missed. I got that text from you. I can't get the fucking,
Well.
hey, you might want to make a bet on this fight text. Remember those texts?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Okay, so you're at the party.
I invited you, though.
Knowing I was out of town.
I actually had no
Knowing
idea
I was going to be out of town.
I didn't know you were at it.
Unbelievable. It's great.
So Billy, he had been day drinking since about 2:00 on Saturday,
Okay, I love him already.
and so I invite him in, and he holds his he doesn't act, he doesn't get all out of control when he drinks. But so by the time I met him about 8:30, 9:00 at night, and we go to this birthday party, and it's cool. There's a lot of people. It's kind of a small, more intimate, not like open to the public. You know, we had to like take an Uber up to this
Yep.
house. What the Absolute Vodka guy? I guess he's a part owner of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really cool house though. They hold a lot of events there. But anyway, so I introduced Billy to Miles, and you know, you always, for me, I'm kind of like, okay, he's cool. He doesn't act drunk. He doesn't lose his mind in situations like that. But he starts to like go off on about like, because it's everybody. It's funny when people see me, they're like, all they want to talk about is fighting and Connor and Floyd. And it's just like, you know, I get it. It's whatever.
Right.
But Billy's talking about like, no, like Jake's invested in this, and like he starts talking about money, and like he's just telling this to Miles, and I can tell Miles is kind of like
Who gives a fuck?
and I'm like,
Right.
so I gotta like quickly change the subject, but it was funny though, because they were both drinking. I was drinking Perrier, but it was a cool it was a cool night.
Because you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're waiting for the phone to ring.
Yeah, I don't
Nobody
drink.
Nobody's stepping up, huh?
I'm sure there's
Nobody's
a
stepping
few.
up.
There's a few.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm getting a text from Claudia Jordan, who's playing in the Hollywood Park Sit and Go
Oh, is she?
this evening. Yes.
She's cool. I like her.
I also got a text here from Angelica Bridges. You know who that is?
Oh yeah.
Remember her from
Oh,
Baywatch,
yeah.
the hot redhead? And she's not coming tonight. That's what that says. It's all right. It's okay.
If you were to pick like,
Yes, Angelica Bridges. Oh,
No.
sorry. What was the question? Ariane Celeste. No. Go ahead.
in your Rolodex,
Yes.
let's say top 3 that you would love to, let's say, go on a date with.
Oh, okay. Oh, on the female side of it?
Well, either one, whichever.
Okay. Who would they be?
Yeah.
I think I just named 2 of them.
Fair
I
enough.
probably just named 2 of them. Trying to think of who the third would be. I mean, Jake. I'm a modest guy, Jake. I'm just most of them that would be in there. I already dated Jake. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All right.
You know. Yeah. There's a few. Blake Lively still does it for me, but she's married and she's like on kid number 3, I think. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Ryan Reynolds' wife. Blake
Yeah.
was in
Yeah, yeah.
Savages. You see the movie Savages?
No.
Oh shit! You gotta go see it. I went
Did
and
she
saw
do-
The Sandlot. You need to go check out Savages.
Okay.
First of all, you're a savage yourself.
Savages.
right?
I like it.
Yeah. You need to go check that out. That's a good movie.
Did Blake Lively, did she date Chance Crawford, or did they do a movie together maybe, or a TV show?
I don't know. He's the guy from Gossip Girl, right? How do I know that? Or not Gossip Girl?
Yeah.
Gossip Girl?
He was, yeah. Well, which is funny because we were talking to him, and Billy was like, "Oh, he's from the Gossip Girl." And I was like,
Oh,
I don't
you were
know
at
how
a
you
real
would-
legit Hollywood party, huh?
Yeah.
Now I see.
I
Who
was
else
like-
was there, Jake? Tell me who else.
But see, the thing, I don't know a lot of these people, so it's
Mhm.
like, you know, it's cool to meet him. But Billy is like, "Oh, he's from Gossip Girl." And it's like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know I haven't seen that show, so I couldn't confirm or deny. Okay, like yeah, that's
A lot of young starlets running around the party.
Right.
Right.
But
that I wasn't at.
yeah, I'm telling. I thought you would have enjoyed that, but
Well, you know that I'm going to be out of town on March 3rd and 4th, so I'm sure I'll get great invites to cool shit, right? Hey, me and Dana White, we're going to go grab a bite. Do you want to come? Oh, I thought you were in Vegas. I'm sure I'll get that fucking text, right? Yeah. I'll just send you my whole travel schedule for the year, and then you can figure out what cool shit to invite me to conveniently when I'm unavailable.
conveniently,
Unbelievable.
a lot of things that I end up doing are real last minute, though, John. I don't know if you know that about me, but I'm not the best I'm not the best planner. I mean, I'm pretty good, but I'm not.
No.
I'm
No,
not
you're not pretty good.
I'm not spectacular.
No.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. No, you're not a good planner. No.
I mean, 1 to 10, I'm like, I'm like a 6 maybe. Or you disagree?
I mean, you're a 6 around 10 other mutes, perhaps. Maybe.
Wow.
Not a good planner.
What's the number you'd give me?
Here's the thing. It's not that you're not a good planner. You might not be the best at communication.
Okay, yeah.
Planning, I actually think you're probably great at. Communicating, although you've been way better.
Yeah, but I'll at least be honest with you.
True.
Like the vague and generalness, like I said, that was usually by design.
By design. Right.
But not towards you, just in
I
general.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I understand. The funny thing is, I won't mention names, but I asked you about getting someone on the podcast yesterday, and you go, "Nah, he's big leagued me the last couple times."
Yeah, I know it.
That's hilarious.
He has big time to me.
It's kind of shocking.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I don't know the guy. I've never met the guy, but
no, yeah, it's funny just because MMA is kind of a small circle, John. It's a very small community, but like if we were face to face, he'd be cool. Like,
right,
we'd be cool. Hey, what's up? But it's like you have those friends that are not going to do you any favors. We'll put it that way,
right?
So as Chael would put it, when he would talk a guy into a fight, he would say, "Bring your friends, but not any ones that you like."
Oh my God! You just literally made me spit up. Oh my God! Sorry.
Out your nose or what?
Forgive me. That was funny. I wasn't expecting that. You got me good. You've threatened that I almost did that to you. Oh my God! That just derailed the whole thing. That's fucking hilarious. Say it again though, because I cut you off. My spitting up cut you off.
I said, "Bring your friends, but not any ones that you like."
Oh. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a Chael P. Sonnen.
Love Chael P. Sonnen. We got to get him on the fucking podcast.
I know. He said he will.
Come on,
he's
Chael.
Absolutely in. But he's just not in L.A. He's in West Lynn.
On the mean streets.
Yeah, but he'll absolutely do it.
So, Jake, I don't know if you remember, but last week I was recapping a little story that I've been telling on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the story, right?
I do.
It took place, it was Memorial Day weekend.
I
was at Mandalay Bay, and I was by myself, and $200 to my name. And you can listen to any of the former Action Junkeez podcasts, and you can pick up, most of the story. But I'm going to pick up where I left off from last week.
I had a friend really quick just to not
just choking to death still over here.
Not. Yeah. I had a friend in Florida. I think she lives in Florida, but text me we don't talk very often. Once in a while, hey, what's up? Like she'd text me like, oh my God, like I didn't know you were doing a podcast. Like she had heard the podcast and thought you were hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, which is funny.
Wait, like a fan?
Yeah.
Like I have a fan?
Yeah. Yeah, she thought you were great.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just that I thought you might like that, but
I'll be needing to see Instagram links. No, just so I can kind of reach out and engage with the fans. I'm not
Fair
saying
enough,
she
yeah.
hot. I'm just saying. No, but is she hot? No, I mean I'm just saying. I like to sometimes just interact with the fans and the people on the hot chick, dark hair, blonde. No, I'm just saying though, Jake.
right. I think she's in a relationship, but
on the rocks, on its way out. What's the deal? No, never mind. All right,
never mind.
So these are just jokes. Yeah, so it's Memorial Day weekend. You can listen to any of the past Action Junkeez episodes to get caught up on the story. But basically, I went from $32,500 all the way down to $3,700, which still looked good because I'm at a $25 minimum table. And,
yeah, oh yeah.
And I got this cowboy guy who's in for the rodeo or whatever sitting next to me, and he's got the big buckle and the big hat, and he calls me Biggin. Is that a term in the Biggin? I guess it's Biggun, Biggin.
Maybe, I guess.
Like
I don't know.
Big one, right?
Biggin?
Yeah,
like
Biggin.
From Texas?
Yeah, it's from Dallas,
right.
from Fort Worth.
Good guess. I was
Biggin?
going to say Oklahoma or Texas, maybe.
Yeah.
Not Nebraska, really. You don't say Biggin.
No. All right. So, yeah, he's definitely a Texas guy, this guy. And so I'm like, is this your first time in a casino? Like, there's no such thing. You can't turn $200 into $32,000 unless you're in the movies. It's not
Right.
It's just not possible. Okay.
And John doesn't go to MIT, so we're not doing
No,
that. 21 's not
definitely.
that movie's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm counting to 10 is about as high as I'm going, Jake. I'm not counting in a 6-deck shoe or an 8-deck shoe, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking cars. Actually, this is the continuous shuffle.
Oh shit!
This is just endless shuffle.
So you have absolutely
Yeah.
no prediction there.
So this guy's talking my ear off. I got $3,700. I'm still in shock that I had the 32 grand. I'm like, I can't believe, like, at what I was out and stopped back at the table.
I know.
Like, I was on my way to the room until that dealer
Right.
is like, round 2. And I'm like, oh yeah.
You just wanted to like give her a body shot.
Yeah,
or
I was
something,
like,
probably.
I'll
Yeah.
take $2,000 and see, and then all hell broke loose.
What time is it now?
It's like 6 something in the morning.
So,
All
so
the
you've
old
been
people
up
coming
for
down. I've been up for 2 fucking straight days.
wow.
And so I've got the 3,700. So this guy's talking my ear off, and we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and whatever. And I'm just trying to be cordial. And really, the only thing keeping me at the table is I'm staying at Mandalay Bay, and the walk, because I'm comped. I had it like that back then, Jake.
Okay.
And I'm in a corner suite. You've seen Mandalay Bay from outside,
Mhm.
right? It's like those long, right? It's like Mandalay Bay is a big hotel, like one of those 5,000 room
Right.
joints. So the walk from the elevator all the way down the Green Mile hallway to the corner suite, essentially a blackjack walk of shame. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm just going to sit here with the 3,700 and just wallow in sadness. Okay? So I'm not really paying attention. I'm just betting like 200, 400, whatever. I'm just betting. Like, he's talking my ear off, and I'm trying to be polite, and I'm just going through the motions, and I get a little run. Oh, I got blackjack, and I double down and I win, and then I get 8s and split them and double down on one and win. Get 2 blackjacks in a row. Oh my God, and I win. All of a sudden, I'm back up. I got like $8,000, and he's still talking to me. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just play $2,000, and if I lose, I'll go home. And I win the hand, so I'm like at 10. I'm like, oh, this is going pretty good. So I bet I'll just let that $2,000 ride, until I lose, and then I'll just go up to bed. And I win like 4 hands in a row with a couple doubles. I got it all back. Jake. $32,500. Fucking got it all back.
Oh
Every single fucking dime of it. From $200 to $32,500. Went to the cashier, got the money. Fucked up at the crap table for a second, sat back down at blackjack, went all the way back down to 3,700. It was borderline tears, not like when I'm watching Shark Tank, but just tears of sadness from blackjack misery, okay? Got the belt buckle guy talking my fucking ear off, 3,700. Told him, is this your first rodeo? Was like, you can't do it. It can't be done. 200 up to 32,000. There's no such thing as it getting it back. Got it all back.
$32,500.
Exactly.
Wow. And you left with that on that number.
I gave the 5. The girl just happened to come the right timing to deliver pineapple juice number 67 on the evening. Okay, because back then that's what I would drink. I drank pineapple juice because I heard. Well, never mind. It doesn't matter why I was drinking pineapple juice. And we'll talk about that some other time, Jake. But I heard it's good for certain things for you to drink a lot of pineapple juice, and that's what I did. They don't tell you about the fucking cuts on your tongue when you drink too much pineapple juice. But you know what? I thought it was for the greater good at the time. Still don't know if that's a myth or not. Need someone to research it and tweet me if you can, at Jon Orlando, Jon Orlando. Okay. Anyway, got it all back. Pineapple juice girl came, so I gave her the $500 because that's the fucking shit that got me in all the trouble. Gave her the $500 for the pineapple juice. You ever pay $500 for pineapple juice?
No.
Ever in your life?
No.
It's not a good business decision. But in this case, it was. Okay? Had the $32,000, went back to the cashier.
Okay.
Same cashier that cashed me out the first time for the $32,000, and she goes, "I think I want to marry you." And I said, "Yeah, not so fast. The first batch of $32,500 you gave me, gone. This is just the replacement. This is not in addition to." But I appreciate the thought. If she was hot, I would have, but she wasn't.
Now hear another $200.
Yeah.
To $32,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
Insane.
I can't even comprehend that.
That's a big score, right?
Huge.
But it's sort of the worst thing because then anything you do less, you just feel, you know what I mean?
It's kind of like winning a main event in Omaha. And then it's like,
right.
Fights are fights, but
I think it's that time for us to
that was a good story.
to get out of here and go to the Celebrity Sit and Go at Hollywood Park. Are you going to try to win this one tonight?
I am going to win this one, actually, just so you know, Johnny.
All right, well, I'm going to be right there, too, because I'm coming for you tonight.
When you push all in on
let's have a side bet. Let's make a friendly side bet.
Let's do it. Okay.
$20. So, and put it on my total. Oh yeah, already from the Las Vegas debacle. Okay, $20. I last longer than you in the Celebrity Sit and Go at Hollywood Park tonight.
Let's make it $100.
Fine, done. $100.
$100.
All right, Action Junkie World. We'll be back next week. We might have a guest next week, a big one. I'm not going to say names. I don't want to disappoint, but we got good stuff, right?
But we do.
I'm Jon Orlando. That's Jake Ellenberger. You're watching the Action Junkeez.